is the Wayne Ayers Podcast. The Wayne Ayers Podcast. Woohoo! Time to wake your ass up for a blessed day.
Yeah, hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Maybe I should put on headphones too.
Yeah, I just got the new beat, so
Nice.
how's everything going?
It's going good.
Nice, nice. I know you've been a woman with many talents. I don't even know where to start. Where should we start at? Music video, Just Pick Me dropped October 1st.
Thank
It looked
you.
really nice. How did that come about?
Thank you so much. That's really nice of you. I I've actually written a bunch of songs since I was a little kid. I just for fun, just made them up. I really liked Hannah Montana, so I wanted to make songs. Uh, so that's just one of the many songs that I've just made up for no reason. I wrote that song about 4 years ago. Uh,
Oh,
just because of a and the lore into it goes pretty deep. It's got references to a musical that I was part of in high school and and so I don't think I need to get into all of that. I posted some of the explanation behind the lyrics and the music video and the visuals on Instagram. But yeah, I haven't had the resources or the skill to make any of these songs exist outside of my head until now. Thanks to the
nice.
new friends that I've made and the friends they've introduced me to.
That's nice. Like I like the video too. Like where did that how did the concept for the video happen?
Thank you so much. I'm a very visual person, so whenever I write a song, I'm already seeing the music video in my head. When I read text,
Nice.
I see what I'm reading. And when I read a book, it's like I'm watching a movie. And when I daydream, it's like I'm literally gone watching. I'm one of those very, very visual people. So that's literally pretty much exactly what I was imagining in my head when I wrote the song. It's the lyrics are reference a character named Gertrude, which is a blue bird in Seussical the musical. And so I wanted to cross the blue bird with a clown because the concept of the song is kind of a played up amplification of feelings that we feel that at the end of the day we kind of are annoyed at ourselves for feeling them because it seems silly and insignificant. So we become frustrated with ourselves because it takes up so much so much space in our brain. So cross between a bird and a clown. Cross between Gertrude the Bluebird and a clown. Pretty on the nose. I'm actually not that creative when it comes to ideation and naming concepting. So that was that's the concept behind the look and the music video itself. I just wanted a black space. Originally, I considered shooting it in a cave. I wanted the space
Oh,
to feel confined and empty and
that'd
hopeless.
be interesting.
Yeah, but logistically, it would have been a nightmare. So,
Yeah.
considering that this was a passion project that, has no audience, not like my, Dora stuff and other content has somewhat of a built-in audience at this point. Some people that might be looking out for that. This has no audience. This is a complete departure from anything I've done before. I did it just for me. So I needed to not be stupid in terms of the money and resources I allocated toward this project. Not too stupid. So I money super well spent on the incredible producer. He's an artist himself named Mao Mao Mao, who just gets it. He made the track, and aside from that, it would have been a lot more money to get a a, a power bank, lights. I would need several people to help me, and I would not want to ask anyone to do that for free, no matter how close we are. I wouldn't think that's fair. To lug things up a hike into a cave around here.
No, yeah.
So I decided to instead try and make one of the rooms in this house where I'm living look as empty and black as possible, which still costs money, but less, I think, than if I would have tried to do this with a cave, this in a cave.
If yeah, no, there you need like a whole production for that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said Hannah Montana. I didn't want to be like, oh, it kind of give me Disney vibes if you weren't going for that. So I
Oh,
was
I love
like,
it.
okay, cool. Cause I don't want to say, oh, it gives Disney vibe, but look, I wasn't trying to go for Disney. Disney was inspired. I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to be it. So
Oh no,
I kind
you're
of gave
good.
like, okay, cool. I was like, oh, it's giving like the little Disney vibe, like the Descendants type of, you know what I'm saying? Kind of get that little Disney vibe with it. So that's what I was like, I enjoyed that part.
Thank
It
you.
kind of
You
gave
know,
me
except for
the
the
sense of,
except for the cussing, but yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Could you is this gonna be like a single to an album or what how is this going about? Are you gonna do music more or plan to drop more songs soon?
I would love to do music more. Like I said, I've written a bunch of songs actually. I actually have so many songs, some in English and some in Spanish. So I'm also trying to decide what direction I want to take it in. Um, I've So I'm trying to decide, should I do a Spanish album and an English album? I tried translating some of my Spanish English to lyrics to English and it doesn't really work. So I don't know yet. I don't know if I'm just gonna keep making singles whenever I have spare time. Because like I said, I don't think this is something that's this doesn't seem like something that's gonna make me money, which isn't a bad thing. And it doesn't mean I'm not gonna do it. It just means I can't dedicate all of my time to it because I need to live in this capitalist society. So
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm definitely going to release more singles. I'm trying to decide if I do any albums.
Nice. Yeah.
Because it takes a lot of time. And by the way, I love that wall behind you. It's a sick
Oh, thank you.
background.
Thank you so much. No, yeah, I love the Itachi and all this stuff. Yeah. But no, I'm like you're super talented because like, oh, she dropped this song
Thank
and I was
you.
like, oh, it likes it, and then you can go do the acting. I know you mentioned theater earlier, background, and you got the stunts. Stunts is a crazy thing to me. I was like, I don't know how you do most of the stuff you can do with that. And then you're killing it with like the conventions and like the fans are loving you on social media. It's like you got like the entire package.
You're so kind. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So like how do I want to start this? Parkour training. How do you I know you said I think you said on Instagram it's a family business. How did that come about? Like how is this a family business?
So I started doing parkour when I was a whole adult, really. I was 19 and 20 when I was getting into parkour. I was attending film school in Orlando. So I've always wanted to make videos, make movies for a living. I always wanted to work in the film industry ever since I saw Eddie Murphy's Haunted Mansion when I was a little kid. So I was in Orlando for film school, and that was when I heard that there were some people that did this thing called parkour at some like cheerleading gym for open gym on Saturdays. And I started attending, and in my super hyperactive ADHD couldn't sit still self, it filled a hole I didn't even know I had, which is a really weird sentence, but it's already been said. I yeah, so that's how I started doing parkour. Back then there weren't that many women parkour. I think I was part of the second generation of parkour, second, third-ish generation. So there weren't that many women yet training the way that my buddies had been teaching me. So I started
You're
getting
right about
opportunities.
that because you used to see like the old school movies and it'd be like a woman would have a scene and then it'd be like they'll do like the stunt person quickly and but that's not the same. That's nowhere near the same person of the like in the film. If you know what I mean. Like I'm like I think that was a dude. Like I was like I don't know. I gotta go look up a film. I
Oh,
said
that did happen. A buddy of mine doubled Jennifer Lopez, and he's him. He's actually, yeah, he a parkour guy. You're not wrong. A parkour friend of mine doubled Jennifer Lopez for a music video back in the day. I think that happened a
yeah,
couple
I
times
seen that,
with
but I
parkour
seen that
people.
there's like a bunch of films like that is not a girl. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? But like it seems like I don't know, like the last decade or so, you kind of see like more women into it. I think that's really dope.
Yeah, and that was about a decade ago. Yeah, when I started. I started in 2013. Yeah, around 2012, 2013 is when I was getting into parkour. And yeah, I auditioned for shows at Universal Studios, and then I was posting on social media. I made a website, so I started getting opportunities for live performances, for weird corporate gigs around the US, and a few commercials here and there. And then fast forward a lot, I got in a couple of reality shows, and in 2018, I got on a big reality show, and then also got into stunts because they needed a parkour girl, and I also happened to look like an actress in an episode of NCIS New Orleans. So that's when I got
Nice.
tafted and started getting into stunts. But in terms of the family business side of it, my mom's dream has always been to open a sports facility in South Texas. She wanted a multidisciplinary sports facility for kids and families of all ages to have fun in a way that was recreational, in a way where they weren't pressured to compete or be part of a team, which we felt was really lacking in our community. I think in the United States generally, there's
Yeah.
not a lot of sports that give kids an avenue without having to be hyper competitive. Even things like cheerleading. So at first my mom was not about parkour at all. She didn't like the pants I was wearing. She didn't like anything I was doing. She thought it was terrifying. But then I brought her to a parkour jam in San Antonio. And what she witnessed was just a very wholesome scene of adult people outdoors at a park, progressing up to challenges in a way that was controlled. No one was hucking their body around like crazy people, like a lot of people think. Nobody was improvising like everyone thinks we do. And people were, I had just met, were offering to spot me in things that I was scared to commit for. And that's when her perspective changed and she started seeing parkour as a very positive, productive, and non-competitive uh I call it a discipline. It's a sport, it's also a discipline. Um, and so when she finally got around to starting to, when she finally got around to the ideation phase of the sports facility she's always wanted to open, she wanted to add parkour.
Nice.
And a lot of things got in the way. We started construction, I want to say 5 years ago, but I think I said 5 years ago, like 2 years ago. It's been forever. And then the pandemic happened and everything got screwed up and everything got so expensive and it took so long. But my family finally opened last year. My mom managed to build a huge facility called Quisqueya Athletics in Far, Texas, that has 4 indoor tennis courts, a multi-use fun area where we've got ping pong tables and all kinds of games, karaoke machine, everything you could possibly need to have fun. 4 studios, a fitness gym that I um uh furnished, and the parkour gym upstairs that is 13,000 square feet. And I think it's the biggest parkour gym in the world. I don't know that people are out posting the square footage, but in terms of parkour only, like not parkour and tramp or parkour and boulder, like parkour only gym, I think it might be the biggest one in the world.
Nice.
And so, yeah, that opened last year and we're really, really proud of it. So I visit South Texas periodically to teach workshops and train our coaches and manage the website remotely.
Nice. So how's it like being like now you went from being a parkour, remember you're like the student, now you're like the teacher. How's that feeling?
I really enjoy teaching parkour now. And I also really enjoy teaching adults, like people who think they can't do parkour, people who think
That's
parkour
me.
isn't for them. Yeah, exactly. People who see that and they're like, oh, it's too late for me, or I would break my knees. Those are the people that I want to teach because parkour is not what everybody thinks. It's not, a lot of people have this misconception that parkour is only is something that only exists at the highest levels that they've ever seen someone doing something like jumps. Um,
Yeah, I be seeing people
Parkour,
doing the buildings and everything. I'm like, nah, I can never.
yeah.
It's always cool to watch though. Like, I'm always gonna watch the video, but like, I can see me doing that.
Parkour is a toolbox of movements that teach you how to jump properly, how to land properly, how to fall properly. Parkour, not only does parkour not have any higher incidence of injury than any other sport, uh, and again, it's a baby sport. Not that this has been researched. I don't have data to back that up, but based on like 11 plus years of parkour experience and also having filmed other sports, seeing kids getting carried out every time I ever had to film a soccer game. um, yeah, not only is parkour not any more or less dangerous inherently than any other sport, parkour reduces the risk of injury, I believe, if you have parkour training and do any other sports or exist in everyday life. Because when you're taught parkour properly, the first things you're taught is how to bail correctly. Everything we do has a plan B, a plan C, and a plan D. The first thing we teach people is what happens if you fall forward? What happens if you fall backwards? What happens if you fall from this height? What happens if you fall from this height? So that very practical, everyday, improving your daily quality of life and overall health and fitness has been my favorite avenue of parkour instruction. And I also really enjoy teaching speed for people who do want to, for students that do want to progress their skills more as an athlete. I really enjoy teaching speed techniques for parkour speed competitions.
No, yeah, that looks so. Yeah, I would like. I'll give it a try, but I'd be seeing the videos. But how did these people be doing this? Like, what's like a like? I don't even know how to ask it. Like, what's like the most challenging thing to do in parkour?
Um, so I think it's more helpful to define what parkour actually is for you to decide what your question is. Because so parkour is an assortment of movements that help you traverse a varied environment in a way that is effective and generally efficient. So parkour, for the most part, is categorized by jumps, vaults, swings, um, the run-ups to those things, wall
Oh, so,
runs, climbs, like dynamic climbs. So that's generally parkour. Specific moves that help you interact with and between obstacles. And then there's a term called free running that was initially intended to be the English translation for the French word parkour, but over the years, the community has more or less designated the term free running to describe creative movement. So that's where anything non-efficient comes into play, like flips and tricks, and even technically something like a reverse vault would be non-efficient. But most of us train some of both if we look at it as a spectrum, with parkour being pure efficiency and free running being anything non-efficient, creative flips and tricks. I like to look at it like a spectrum. Most of us train some of both. We fall somewhere in between. And that's why we still tend to use the terms interchangeably, but we generally still have a distinction between the two. So I would be more on the parkour end. I can do some like basic flips, but I'm more of a jumpy guy. And there's some people that just love flipping and stuff. And when I say flips and tricks, I don't mean on flat ground. If you got flat ground and you do a tricking line, that's a tricking line. You're tricking. You're not free running. Free running involves the use of obstacles. So if you join a style competition for free running and you do a tumbling pass, you did a tumbling pass. You did not free run. So just keep that in mind when I say free running. It involves acrobatics, flips, perhaps flips, tricks, but technically it could be anything that's non-efficient as long as it's interacting or utilizing obstacles. So that's what parkour and free running is. So parkour itself is not difficult, is not dangerous, is that's all there is to say about it. It's not dangerous and it's not difficult because a precision, for example, a precision is what we call a controlled jump from one edge to another edge to land precisely and to stick it. You can do a 2-foot precision between bars on the ground, or you could do an 8-foot precision between 2 building ledges that are 2 stories high. Both of those are a precision. Both of those are parkour. So parkour itself is not crazy dangerous. The parkour moves themselves are not what make parkour difficult. What makes parkour more or less challenging is the setting. It's how far you do the precisions. It's the mental involved. If you're at height, it's
I think that's what I
The
mean.
technique involved. Like if you have rails, for example, if you have a smaller surface to land on, it's the setting that makes parkour more or less difficult, not the parkour itself.
No, yeah, that's probably me mentally. Cause I just be like, I don't think I can do these movements. It's not like, oh, I'm like, okay, I'll get hurt. I just think I just can't do those movements like y'all be doing.
You definitely can. I promise you, I've had a student at Quisqueya that was 75 years old.
For real?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna have to give it. I'm gonna have
And
to
like
go to
I
South
said,
Texas.
parkour is a whole spectrum. Like people see these videos on YouTube and they think that's the only thing parkour is, but it's not. Parkour can really help all kinds of people with their everyday lives. Like I said, I'm just obviously not going to have a 75-year-old doing 8-foot precisions between 2-story building ledges.
No, yeah, but it looks fun. I just like me personally, I'd be like, man, this move, I can't see me doing those movements. Like even like when you guys just like run up the wall and then do a flip, I'd be like, I don't know how y'all do. I could like, no,
You
I
see,
can't
and
do it. But
that's a very specific thing that most would argue is not parkour.
oh, for
It'd be
real?
free running. Yeah.
For real? That's oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. Anything flips, creative acrobatics is technically not parkour. Like those of us who do parkour and free running, like I said, we still use the terms interchangeably, but a parkour class is my opinion. A parkour class does not have flips. That's something specialized.
Okay. Okay, nice. Okay, so free running parkour. Okay, I got it. I got it.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to get into the anime conventions, or just not anime, but Comic-Con anime conventions. You kind of just created like Dora. Like I know I see people like go to conventions like literally looking for you, but oh, where's like Dora and everything. So
Thank
like
you.
how did that like how have you like reacted to fans like coming up to you? Like I know it's like a big thing.
Uh, it makes I'm so grateful if anyone watches the silly videos that I make and enjoy it. I've It's crazy because it's what I've been doing my whole life. Like I made a YouTube channel when I was way too young. But even before with my parents' VHS camera and like Roxio media player, I started video editing when I was like 9. So I've been making silly videos since I was a little kid. So it's so incredibly validating and heartwarming as an adult to be doing that pretty much that same thing that I've always liked to do, you know, and involve all the different hobbies that I like, anime, doing flips, music, cutting to music. And to have that kind of positive response, it feels like a validation on my entire life. I'm so thankful. And I'm so grateful if someone tells me in person or says hi in person that likes what I do. It's crazy. It's surreal. I'm never gonna get used to it.
Did you ever like think like, oh, I can like reach this point just like off of that? Cause it's like it really become its own thing.
Yeah. Hmm. So I a little more than a year ago, I think I was at 164,000 followers. I had gone up to like 180 something and then gone back down. And that's where I sat for like 3 years, it feels like. I first got followers because of parkour, like 50,000 or something. And then I got some followers from the first reality show I was on, and then got followers from the second reality show I was on. And then after that, after the 184 something, I did the first cosplay character that I made chaos reels from was Litnosuke. That I did a Pop Smoke edit with my Inosuke cosplay. And that got me some more followers. But then the Dora
No, yeah,
is
Dora's
what
like
took
its
it
own
to a
thing.
million in like 3 months. It was okay, not 3 months. I don't remember the timeline, but it was crazy. Um, I did think that when I first thought to do the Dora cosplay, it was a long time ago. I I mean, look at me. Kids at school, I grew up in South Texas. Kids have always called me Dora. They've always been like, "Where are we going?" But I don't even think it, not even in a bad way. I just look like Dora. So I've always impersonated Dora because I watched the crap out of Dora. I probably saw every single episode. My mom would record it on our VHS and like pause the VHS recording so that it wouldn't have commercials. I would just watch Dora when we lived in New York.
Oh,
So
that's nice.
I impersonated Dora my entire life. Like I was always going like, where are we going? And it was like, one of my things. So when I started cosplaying again last year, I did Litnosuke and I cosplayed some other characters. And I was like, oh, Dora would be a great like lazy Sunday cosplay because it's just comfy, it's no effort, um, well, minimal effort. And I've always been impersonating Dora. So I wanted the original idea was to do a Ratchet Dora, which shout out to Brittany Ferlin. She's the one who did the original Ratchet Dora vines where she was like, do you see the crackhead? Like she and also Bretman Rock did a couple of Ratchet Dora vines. Nick Trawick with the hair flips. So it's not like an original idea to make a funny adult spoof of Dora. Um, I love it and I thought it was funny, so I wanted to not necessarily do what they were doing, but I wanted to do a Ratchet Dora as a lazy Sunday thing. And I was like, oh, Ratchet Dominican Dora. I thought, oh, wouldn't it be funny if Dora like said Dominican bad words and like taught people how to say Dominican bad words? So I did it because I thought it was funny. And but
Everybody else thought it was funny.
but it was coming off of something that I didn't expect. That convention at Anime NYC when I first dressed up as Dominican Dora. The day before, I had been Sukuna and I did pull-ups and I posted it that same day and that went crazy viral, like insane. Like I still don't think I've ever seen anything like the Sukuna pull-ups. So by the time I was doing Dora, it was off the back of something that had already exploded for reasons that I still don't know. uh so that maybe helped. When I did do the Dora and I started getting the footage, I'm like, oh, hand the phone to my friends. Oh, film me doing this. Film me saying this. Oh, I got an idea. Film me saying this. Oh, I'm gonna dance. Film me dancing. And then I got to editing the reel. I thought it might pop off. I thought, oh, this has a pretty good chance of doing well. I think, just because I liked it. So I think other people would like it too. So, but I did not expect 30 million views, and I did not expect it to get cross posted to like every other platform too by other people. So I definitely did think that it had the potential to do well. I did not think that it was gonna do that well. And yeah, I didn't think it was going to be, I don't want to say evergreen because we're only a year in, but yeah, I didn't think there were so many Dominican Dora jokes to be told at the time.
No, it seems
Yeah.
like a lot of people like where was it that anime expo? I like everybody was like looking for. They're like, do you know where Dora's at? I was like, no. I was like, everybody was looking for you there too. So
That's
that
crazy.
yeah, I was interviewing people at Anime Expo, and they're like, "Hey, did you talk to Dory?" I was like, "No, I didn't talk to Dory."
I was
I know,
literally,
I
that's
know who you guys are talking
crazy.
about, though." But I, was like, I haven't seen her.
It's crazy too, because I'm literally editing Anime Expo footage right now. That is exactly what I was doing when I closed Premiere and opened Zoom. I'm still haven't edited that.
You still have an Anime? Oh, you got a lot in the chamber then.
Oh my God. Oh my God, so much.
No, yeah, yeah, that everybody's searching for you there. Is there any other cosplays you want to do? I know I just saw Wednesday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did Wednesday for the first time last year. And it was fun. Um, I don't know, I was trying to think about it. New York Comic Con is next weekend, and I'm excited for that. I'm trying to decide what to do. Um, honestly, I'm really tired. So I'm like not thinking about conventions a whole lot. Um, and I haven't put like a lot of effort into a cosplay in a minute. But yeah, that's a good question. I definitely want to do Wednesday again at New York Comic Con. I really like scary things. I would love to cosplay more scary stuff because I love horror movies. My first job was at a haunted house. So I like that with Wednesday. I can kind of relax my face a little bit. You know, I'm like, just. So, oh, that was a non-answer. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of already checked all the boxes of people I've always wanted to cosplay, like Cora and Starfire and Raven.
Nice, nice, nice. I love
Yeah.
Raven. Raven's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, Raven's there. So like, what's like your future goals? You could do like a lot of things. Like you can act, you can
Thank
stunt,
you.
you can sing, you can, there's so many like revenues you could go to. Like, what are you like your like what like say like you got like a 10-year plan. What would you like to do in the next 10 years?
Thank you so much. That's really kind. I really appreciate it. Um, if I can do it all, which is what I'm trying to do, I'm gonna try to do it all. I love MC work. I love hosting. Um, it's really fun to perform for film and television, but there's something extra fun about having that immediate feedback, which is what I had with like an ultimate tag when we had a live audience and when I performed at shows at Universal Studios. Most recently, when I was emceeing the Sport Parkour League competition, I really enjoyed hosting and emceeing. So I would love to get more gigs that way. And I would love to, right now, I'm trying to decide what my strategy for long form YouTube is going to be. Because
Nice.
I've always made videos since I was a little nugget. So now, just as of like 3 months ago, it started making me some money. And I moved into a house full of influencers and they've taught me how a lot of these things work. So, yeah, if I don't need to be rich, but if I can be comfortable from doing things that I enjoy, then that would be really cool. And the things that I enjoy are, you know, hosting, acting, stunts, content creation, and it's probably good that I have lots of different interests because all of these industries are incredibly fickle and the work has gaps. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so it
Like you
probably
could be
is
acting on
more,
a TV show one day and then 3 years later you guys don't get renewed. It's
yeah.
weird.
Yeah, it's here and there for all of these things. And even for content creation, the algorithms are always changing, the rules are always
Facts.
changing. YouTube's about to come out with like 3-minute shorts now.
I'm excited for
So
that.
things that used to work won't work now. So I'm not going to be complacent and just assume my social media is going to keep doing well if I keep doing the same thing. So we'll see. Yeah, that was a very convoluted answer. I'm gonna try to make money from things that I enjoy, and I don't have a more clear vision than that right now.
I
Trying to
think
figure it out.
we should all do that. We should all try to do that.
And I'll try, but unfortunately, we do live in a society. So if I have to go back to like when you work in entertainment, you need to have a plan B, a plan C, and a plan D, and you cannot have an ego about it. Like if you gotta get a waitressing gig, like you gotta get it. I was selling dog food at one point when I lived in Orlando. Uh, if I can go back to be a personal trainer, to being a video editor for corporate, to whatever, I'll be a PA on a set. Like I'll do what I gotta do
No, I love you have
when it
that
comes to it.
mentality. I know some people
Thank
are, all right,
you.
once I reach this part, it's either this or like nothing. I see, but you're like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I think if you're just it's such a privilege to get any amount of money from doing anything this enjoyable. So no matter what job I have, even if I have less free time, I'm gonna do the things that I like anyways in my off time. So I'm gonna try my best, but if it doesn't work out, if I can't make money for my passions, I'm still way better off than 99% of people in the world. Especially if you factor in other countries. So yeah.